the beginning of another black hole. Hello and thank you for clicking on this video. I'll be sharing my first ever DAP experience. For anyone new to this realm of the hobby like me, a DAP pretty much stands for Digital Audio Player. In essence, they are like MP3 players but on steroids and for audio files. And for today's video, I'll be talking about Hiby's entries DAP, which is the R1, and this DAP is coming in at $85 US, which is relatively affordable as some DAP can go up to thousands of dollars. But before we dive deeper, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Hiby for sending this unit in exchange for my honest feedback. However, as always, all thoughts and opinions are my own and are not influenced by any parties. Now that's all out of the way, let's talk unboxing. Unfortunately, I filmed the unboxing experience but I forgot to bring that footage with me as I'm currently on a holiday. Thank you, brain. Essentially, the package comes with the device itself, a carrying pouch that just barely fits it, stock earbuds and a strap. Pretty much what you need to start your journey in this hobby. If you're still curious of the unboxing experience, I'll post a dedicated video in the description when I return. The design of the R1 is very simple. Think a music player in a compact box with the rounded edges. It's very portable, it's very lightweight, there are different colors to choose from, the screen is surprisingly vibrant and clear, there are 3 buttons on the side of the device itself. At the bottom you have a 3.5mm input, a USB-C and a micro SD card slot, and it comes with a 32GB as stock, which again very nice, and it can support up to 2TB of storage, which is way more than you'd need to store your music. All in all, a very simple, straightforward design and a very compact and lightweight form factor that will appeal to just about anyone. Speaking of button functions, the power button is pretty much self-explanatory, powering the R1 on and off, waking it up from standby mode. There's the volume button and also another button at the bottom where pressing the top is the pause and play, and pressing the button at the bottom forwards the track, and holding it fast forwards the track to a certain time in the track. No backwards track as far as I know, but this can all be controlled from the screen itself, but at least there's button functions as well. So a quick run through of the functions, features and user interface. When the R1 is turned on, you'll be greeted by 6 tabs: music, stream media, wireless, books, system and about. Swiping down is like swiping down your phone, but for the R1 you can quickly toggle the Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, sleep mode, toggling between low gain and high gain, brightness adjustments and the music player. Swiping to the right will have the music player itself. If you inserted any music into the SD card, it will register into the device relatively quickly and is relatively intuitive, where it will separate itself to different artists or genres. In the setting you can toggle a few modes and do a few things like updating database, adjusting play modes, resume play from last, gapless playback, sound feel, toggling maximum digital volume output, crossed fade, adjusting gain, adjusting balance, repeat functions, speed play, auto slide to playback interface. There's a lot of settings to play around with, and we're only on the music setting. Stream media, where you have Tidal and Qobuz. I honestly wish there was Spotify for Spotify users like myself, or an option to download other music streaming softwares, but if you're already on Qobuz or Tidal, then this fits you perfectly. Wireless settings, where you can connect via Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, AirPlay for Apple users, importing music via Wi-Fi and DLNA, so more than sufficient connectivity options. Book sections, where I believe you can play audiobooks if you're into that kind of things, but I personally don't delve into that as of this moment, but at least the option is there. System setting, where you can adjust the language, backlight settings, theme color. Very nice that you can customize the color to your liking, but personally I prefer the stock as it's colorful enough. You can adjust the font size, USB working mode, IME setting, idle, shutdown, sleep shutdown, battery percentage displays, inline remote setting, LED indicators, button operations. You can even toggle the shortcut menu to what you want from the selection that they have, screensaver settings, restore factory settings, firmware update, certification information and developer options. If you don't see this developer option, just go to your About tab and click on the Hiby and it'll toggle the developer mode, and apparently it unlocks the volume lock. So with the volume lock, at low gain, I'm at about 100% volume with the stock earbuds that it comes with, and at high gain, I'm about 80%, which isn't a lot since we're talking about potentially single DDIEM. However, after the volume lock, I'm about 60% at low gain, so it gives a lot of headroom to play around with after the volume lock is toggled off. However, I feel it still struggles a little bit to power really power hungry IEMs, so your fat freaks, planar IEMs. The R1 is still not going to be enough to drive those kind of IEMs to its maximum potential, but other than that, the R1 is more than sufficient. efficient. Just running through a few more features. So the R1 has a battery life of about 15 hours of playback with about 400 hours of standby time, and through my testing, if you're listening to music for about 4 hours a day, you're looking about 3 days before you need to reach for that charging cable, and I think it's sufficient considering the size of this thing. It also supports plenty of audio codecs like LDAC, aptX. It also has Bluetooth 5.1, which is a little behind compared to some other devices in the market today, as some are up to Bluetooth 5.3, 5.4, but considering the price along with its other features, I feel it still does the job. So just giving a quick sound test of the stock earbuds, I feel they are just fine. For what they are, they do the job, but of course there's a little bit of veil and it's missing that clarity you get from higher priced IEMs. It's just okay across the frequency, but I'm not sure if it's the characteristic of the R1 or the IEMs, but even testing it with the Sennheiser IE200, the background music is somehow the focus and the vocals are either in the same plane or is a little bit recessed in comparison. So it might be a good pairing for any IEMs that is a little forward in nature. So to sum it all up, I think this is a fantastic introduction to the world of DAPs. Hiby gave you just enough of everything to get you started on the journey. Stock earbuds, check. Sufficient features and connectivity, check. All it's missing is something like EQ features and other streaming services support and potentially better technology, but that's what the R1 makes me curious of, the higher priced units in this space, when I was never curious of this space in the first place. So the R1 is doing its job, and even if you don't go beyond the R1, it does the job well enough to get you going. However, this has been one man's experience and I'm curious to know your thoughts. Have you purchased the Hiby R1 and what are your experiences like? Comment below and let me know, and with that all said, thank you once again to Hiby for this experience and to all of you for watching. Until the next experience, take care and happy listening.